Hello everyone, how's it going? Today I am ranking football players, not American football, real football, the sport where you actually use your feet. Um, so here we go. The categories are GOAT, Fire, Future Prospects, Great, Underrated, Dependable, Disappointed. Starting with Romelu Lukaku. This man's meant to be a striker, but pull up the clip. He's the best defender Man City has ever had forever. Like, seriously, Company, get out of here. Ruben Diaz, get out of here. John Stones, get out of here. No, Lukaku's the greatest center back that City has ever had. Luis Suarez, I'm also a Luis Suarez hater. Let me tell you why. He dives horrendously, right? Like all the time. He has them. I've seen like 42 clips of just Suarez doing the most horrendous dives I've ever seen ever. Like worse than Neymar. Okay? So also the biting. Seriously, he bit like 4 people during matches. Are you kidding me? He's not like dude really thought he was Wilbur Soot. Like come on, dude. Come on. Um yeah, I mean, sure, he's an incredible goal scorer. Scored a lot of really great goals, part of the MSN trio, but it doesn't matter. I still hate him. Going and disappointed, which is like the worst category. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm disappointed in them as a player. Um, it's just that I'm not a huge fan of them or just whatever. Next up is Fabinho. I'm not really a Liverpool fan. He left them for money though, so I'll put him in dependable because they definitely he definitely helped them out a lot um, in that midfield, which was honestly pretty weak. Um, so, I mean, Fabinho is going into dependable. Next up, Toni Kroos, underrated as hell. Dude is incredible. Um, he's leaving Real Madrid this year, so I wonder if anyone's gonna pick him up or if he's gonna retire. Um, but I mean, midfield maestro, absolutely incredible. Underrated as hell. Like he people talk about Toni Kroos all the time and whatever, but they don't really appreciate how good he is and was. Okay, like especially back in the day. Now he's still really good, but back in the day, damn, incredible, incredible. Next up, Lionel Messi. Yeah, I think this is pretty obvious. Dude's got to go in the GOAT category. I mean, um, yeah, Messi, the GOAT of football, obviously. Like, what are you gonna do? What like you can't come after me and say Messi is not at least partially the GOAT of football. Um, Next up, Hakim Ziyech. He Chelsea player, Ajax player, I believe. Now he plays in Turkey, right? Is that where Galatasaray is? Uh, I'm exposing myself with my ball knowledge here. Yeah, Hakim Ziyech, he was good. He scored a goal that knocked out Canada in 2022 World Cup, I think. Um, so that's cool. Cool. Um, he's good. I mean, I think he's a little underrated, maybe dependable. I'm gonna put him in dependable next to Fabinho. Um, I mean, yeah, he Chelsea really needed him, and well, now they need him a lot more. But yeah, he's decent, I guess. Like there's nothing really bad I can say about him. Next up, I'm really about to expose myself with my ball knowledge here. I'm not sure who that is. I I I I don't know who that is. If I don't know who it is, I'll skip over them. Actually, there's only I think one other player on here that I don't recognize, and that's this guy. I don't know why, but I was thinking that's Coutinho. Actually, is it Coutinho? No, that's not him, right? It might be. Yeah, that's Coutinho. Question is, who is this guy? I if that's like some really big player that I've like never. Is that David Silva right here? I don't. Yeah, that's him. Okay. I was about to panic because David Silva, City legend. If I didn't know his face, like that would be embarrassing. Um, yeah, everyone else on here, I know who they are. So, um, I'll just that's Coutinho, that's Silva. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is, so I'm just gonna skip over him. Sergio Ramos, absolutely incredible. GOAT category, greatest center back of all time. People throw Maldini's name as the greatest. Well, he was a left back originally, so shut up. Um, David Silva, City legend, incredible, very good. Um, Not much more I can say about that. He's really good. Neymar, I'm gonna put him in the fire category because, well, it's Neymar. He's dust now. Like he's bad now. Um, Neymar's just not good anymore. I mean, what are you gonna do about it, right? But back in the day, prime Neymar was crazy. I mean, you can't argue with prime Neymar not being. Hold on, sorry. Let me restart. You can't you can't argue that prime Neymar wasn't incredible, but current Neymar, no. Philip Coutinho, I don't know anything about him. I just know from a bunch of videos I've seen that he's bad. So, Allison, best goalkeeper in the world right now, which, you know. Anyway, Kevin De Bruyne, one of the greatest midfielders of all time. Not the greatest, but one of. This is why I'm keeping him out of the GOAT category. I don't want to put too many players in there in the GOAT category just because I'm biased towards what team they play for. Wink, wink. Um, Christian Eriksen, underrated. Absolutely underrated. Tottenham, Man United, Brentford player. I'm not sure if he played anywhere else, but wouldn't be surprised if he did. Denmark's most key player for so many years. And of course, the fact that he, was it a heart attack? Christian Eriksen, yeah. Yeah, he collapsed on the pitch due to cardiac arrest in the 2020 Euros, and then he obviously took a hiatus from football, but came back. A guy had a cardiac arrest during a game, and then like a year or so later, I think, he came back and is now continuing to play football. Like, that is just incredible. So much respect for Christian Eriksen, even though he plays for my team's arch rivals. I respect the hell out of him. Next up, Sergio Aguero. Um, Aguero, obviously, that iconic goal. And fun fact, the Aguero goal was the only goal that Mario Balotelli has ever assisted. Mario Balotelli has one assist, and it is on that Aguero goal. If you don't believe me, look it up. That's like I'm telling you the truth. Like he seriously, that's the one goal he ever assisted. Um, but Aguero obviously going in the fire category. Look look at that fire category, and then just no future prospects. But that fire category is stacked. Like if I was building a five-a-side team, I would go to these guys. Yeah, Aguero, great goal scorer. I believe he's still City's all-time goal scorer. N'Golo Kante, absolutely incredible, but I can't tell. I'm gonna put him in underrated. Underrated so far, all midfielders, but N'Golo Kante is another. Well, like he's one of the best defensive midfielders of all time. Like incredible. I love this guy. He's always smiling. Like so much respect for Kante. Underrated. underrated. Next up, João Felix, probably the youngest player on the list. Probably. Okay, so I just did some research, and Mbappe is actually older. I'm not a huge fan of João Felix, but I think he definitely has the potential to be a lot better than he is. Um, and that's why he's going in the future prospects category. Next up, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. I still think Neuer's better, and that's really. I mean, Ter Stegen's an incredible goalkeeper. There's no doubt about it. But um, yeah, I think Neuer's better. Next up, Joshua Kimmich. I'm just gonna say Kimmich. He's gonna go in the great category as well. Next up, Sadio Mane. Another great player. Good on the wing. Not a good striker. Well, I mean that move to Bayern. That was not good. Not good for him. But yeah, playing with Ronaldo in the Saudi Pro League now. I mean, just feeding Ronaldo goals basically. Next up, Matthias de Ligt. I still think he could be better. And I know he's already kind of, made his big money move like 4 times now. Like, well, he's playing Ajax, and then he went to Juve, uh, and then I think from Juventus he went right to Bayern, I think. Um, but yeah, I mean, De Ligt is good. He's good. He's a good center back. Bernardo Silva, a very good player. Very, very good player. Pretty versatile as well. He can play right wing. He can play center mid. He can play attacking mid, probably. Um, and of course, City fan. Gonna gonna put Bernardo Silva high on the list. Next up, Angel Di Maria, the most underrated player of all time. Seriously, think about what Di Maria has won. He's won, I think, at least one Champions League. Okay, yeah, Di Maria has one Champions League. He has a, I think, Olympics medal, Olympic gold medal for Argentina. He has a World Cup under his belt. He's got Copa America under his belt, and league titles galore, I'm sure. Um, but there's not really a whole lot of like individual um, thing, like awards that he's won because he's always been overshadowed by his teammates. Like PSG, he was overshadowed by Neymar. Um, I'm pretty sure he was playing at Man United when Ronaldo was leaving, or that's probably wrong. But yeah, Real Madrid overshadowed by Ronaldo, and you know, um, I mean he's just a very underrated player, very underrated. Next up is Mohamed Salah, very good player, very good player. A little selfish at times. Like there's a clip of a game where Salah just would not pass the ball to Mane, even though Mane was wide open and could probably have scored from the position he was in. And that, for some reason, Klopp took off Mane instead of Salah, and Mane was pissed. But yeah, I mean, Salah scored a lot of incredible goals. Um, very good goal scorer. Liverpool's savior sometimes, like a couple years back. I mean, he's got a Champions League under his belt, I think. When did I think Liverpool won it in like 2022, and he was there in 2019. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, he's good. Not the greatest player in the world, but he's good. It's probably a very hot take. Next up is Erling Haaland. Obviously, the city bias. Gonna put him up in fire. I think he. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put him down in future prospects because again, he's made his big money move twice. First to Dortmund from I think it was Salzburg, right? Um, from Salzburg to Dortmund, Dortmund to City. but he's and broke the scoring record for one season in his first season in the Premier League. And then he kind of fell off a bit this year. I won't lie, but still very good goal scorer, very good player. Um, his strength is incredible. Like there's that clip. There's a clip where Dortmund is playing City, and Holland just absolutely bodies Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz, the center back, and Holland just straight up bodies him, just sends him. And I don't know if he scored after. I forget. But Holland, very acrobatic with his goals, very flashy with his goals. Very good player overall. That's all I'm gonna say. Robert Lewandowski, one of the greatest goal scorers of our generation. Um, Gotta go in the GOAT category. I mean, come on. It's
Robert
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski. So many goals, and I mean he's a little bit of a snake, but pretty much every big German player had done the same move. Dortmund to Bayern, Bayern to Dortmund. Blah, 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 Um, but still, he's a very good player. Antoine Griezmann, I think he's a little underrated. Scored in the 2018 final against Croatia. Hit the L. Uh, Hit the L from Fortnite. So, next up, Harry Kane, very good player. Um, Getting older, but still very good. I mean, he's slow as hell. But just like Olivier Giroud, he's slow, but he's got incredible shooting. That's all I gotta say about Harry Kane. Next up, Paulo Dybala, another underrated Argentine player. He won a World Cup. He's probably won a Champions League. Um, he played with Ronaldo, played with Messi. Um, Scored many a goal. Now he's just chilling out at Roma. Next up is Gnabry. Gnabry is, let's just say he's dependable. You can depend on him, but I don't think he's not the best player at Bayern, is what I'll say. But he's still very good. But I mean, is he my first choice to go in pretty much any team? No. But he's still good. I'm not saying that he isn't good. I'm just saying he's not one of my favorite players. Next up, Koulibaly. Also, I don't know where to put him, because I mean he's in the Saudi Pro League now, just chasing money. But he is a very good center back. But at the same time, he's not one of my first choices in any of my teams. So I guess I will put him in great. Yeah. Next up, Aubameyang. Aubameyang's moved around a lot. I mean, Dortmund, uh, Barca, uh, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Where does he play now? Oh, that's right. He plays in Ligue 1. He plays for Marseille, I think. Um, but he's a good goal scorer. I mean, I'll put him in underrated. He's moved around a lot, but yeah. Next up, Lautaro Martinez. Dependable. I mean, yeah, he just won the league and everything. He's good for club and country, but he's not one of my favorite players, so I'll I'll stick him in dependable. All right. Next up, Roberto Firmino. Um, Also moved to the Saudi Pro League just for money. Liverpool legend, though, I guess. I'll put him dependable or great, because he's not underrated. He's a good player, a very good player. Scored a lot of goals for Liverpool, but I'll just put him in dependable. Next up, Heung-min Son. I did not mean to put him in the GOAT category. I meant to put him in fire. maybe he's deserving of GOAT status. I personally don't think so. I think he is Tottenham's savior right now. He is the best player on Tottenham, one of the best players in the league. This is my opinion. Um, but I don't think he's quite at that GOAT category. But he's very close. He's on the edge. You know, he's like right here. Yeah. Next up is Raheem Sterling. Sterling's a bit of a snake. Let's be real. Played for City, plays for Chelsea right now, and for Liverpool. So, I mean, for an English player, that's pretty sneaky. Next up, Karim Benzema. Very good player. I think he's a little overhyped. Um, Very hot take. That is a very, very hot take. But that's not taking away the fact that he's a very good player. Next up is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, I am not a Trent fan at all, but I do think he is a little underrated. Anyway, moving on to Luka Modric. In my opinion, he is like the fourth best midfielder of all time. You cannot prove me wrong. I mean, think about what he's won. He's won the Ballon d'Or. You know, he's won like I think the same amount of Champions Leagues as Ronaldo. Um, he's scored incredible goals. He captained the Croatian national team to the World Cup final. I don't think they had ever made it before, and they obviously still haven't. But I mean, that's just an incredible feat alone. Like next up, Frankie De Jong. He's getting a little older now. I think he's like 25, so he's like in his prime. But he's very good. Yeah, he could. Yeah, he's a very good midfielder for Barca. Definitely a player that they need. Um, yeah, they need to keep him for a while. Next up is Eden Hazard. Um, Underrated, bro. Underrated like crazy. I mean, one of the greatest dribblers of his generation, and that's saying a lot because his generation is Messi. His generation is Neymar, you know? So, I mean, for him to be up there with the greatest dribblers of his generation, that's an incredible feat. But nobody really talks about him a lot anymore because he started playing like Real Madrid, and everybody kind of forgot about him. Next up, the most overrated player in the past 10 years. Kylian Mbappe. Go right to the bottom, pal. I hate you. I don't know what it is. I just really, really hate Mbappe. He's a cocky bastard and just in general a prick. Like when you're playing in a team that had Messi and Neymar on it and you still expect to score every single goal for your oil club. I can't be talking, but you know when you're playing for an oil club, um, you know the one club in your league that has money, and you're still celebrating every goal like you're winning the Champions League, or like you're like where's his trophies at? Sure, he won a World Cup when he was a teenager, but still, what other trophies does he have? Ligue 1? What does that mean? He played for PSG. Do it at Monaco. Then I'll be more impressed. Next up, Jadon Sancho. I also find him very overrated. I think he's trash. Um, I mean, yeah. He can't do it in the Prem. Maybe going to the Bundesliga will make him look better. But next up, Wijnaldum. I don't know. He's okay. He's not great. He's not horrible. I'll put him in dependable. Next up, Andrew Robertson. Also, same there. Like, it's just these Liverpool players, you know? Like, one, two, three, four, technically five. Um, past slash present Liverpool players are in this dependable category, and this entire category is just blue and red here because you got blue, blue, and then the rest are just red. Anyway, yeah, Robbo again, just like Wijnaldum, he's not great, he's not horrible. Um, doesn't have a whole lot in his trophy cabinet. Definitely not internationally gonna have anything in his trophy cabinet. Um, Jesus, that was so mean. Yeah, I mean, Jamie Vardy, you, my friend, are going into the underrated category. Him, Conte, Mahrez, they all, I think, was he part of? Okay, yeah, Vardy was playing for that Leicester team when they won the league. Um, him, Vardy, and Conte, or him, Mahrez, and Conte. I mean, they were all part of that team, if you didn't know. And I mean, he won the Premier. Whoa, was correct. He won the Premier League with Leicester City. I mean, that's just incredible. Ederson, he is a good goalkeeper. He is a solid goalkeeper. I will definitely, if I'm doing a five-side team, I'm gonna want Alisson to be my goalkeeper. I'm not gonna want Alisson to be my goalkeeper. I'm gonna want Ederson. He's better on the ball, and he can still he's still a very good, proper goaltender as much as he's good on the ball. Next up, Jan Oblak. Oblak, he's just a very good goaltender. Nothing more I can say about him. Doesn't have a whole lot in his trophy cabinet. I wonder why. Um, I mean, I guess that's what you get for playing for Atletico Madrid. So, next up, Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, where else can you put him other than the GOAT category? You know, I'll put him one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. Just like Haaland, he scored a bunch of, super acrobatic and incredible like flips and kicks and volleys. And, I mean, that knuckleball free kick that he does is just incredible. Very good player, very good goal scorer. Lastly, Virgil van Dijk, one of the best defenders in the Prem right now. Really can't say more about it. More about him. I mean, and that completes the tier list. Aside from this guy, if you know who he is, let me know. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.